Namek in decline.
This is when Goku notices something Vegeta doesn't. Something's very wrong. Looking around, the trees are beginning to die. And even within himself, this isn't normal. As the prince gets his feet wet in pet grooming, he scoffs that he doesn't care what sort of villain Moro is, but he won't sit by while this planet suffers, which means he needs to be eliminated. Goku shouts for him to be on guard. Something weird is going on.
What?
Cranberry takes this as a signal to split. He howls that he's not going back to prison. Pulling out the old Shunshin no Jutsu. He's gone. Where did that scum slink off to? Just as Goku points out his location. Holding a giant ball of lava over his body, the prince barks to know what he's up to now. He can make that thing as big as it'd like. His technique is useless against him now. When Goku's fears materialize, across the planet, the energy drains from every living thing just like with the Spirit Bomb. The Namekians know instantly something is wrong with the planet. But what's happening? As one of them drops a bag, he's scolded that the Elder trusted him with the Dragon Ball. He mustn't be so careless. The man apologizes, but when one of the youngsters falls from his feet, upon asking what's the matter, the boy claims he just got dizzy. But that's not it. Could whatever this is be affecting them too? Then after only like 40 years of experience later, Goku questions if they should just attack while he's charging up. And he eats it? Taking satisfaction in it even. Moro smiles. That first meal in a long time does the body good. Vegeta puts the pieces together and realizes this is how he goes around absorbing energy. Being kind enough to valet Cranberry's ship, he tells his comrade to calm his nerves. He shall not lose. He can sit and observe from there. Not something he's in any mood to argue with. Goku has to ask if he seems stronger than before. Like, way stronger. Another thing that clicks with the prince. Of course, this is why Miris was eager to recapture him promptly. Why don't they hurry up and settle this then? But with this renewed sense of confidence and all that delicious disembodied energy now in his body, he snickers for him to try if he can. Though if he thinks his little boost is enough to surpass the both of them, Super Saiyan Blue is still far beyond his scope. Nothing happening. Goku utters, "Well, go on. Probably can't beat him unless he goes blue, right?" With a bead of sweat, that's indeed correct. This is no time for games. With Chaco, he sees now. The planetary energy that Moro absorbs includes the life force of the plants and animals on the same given planet. So he doesn't even have to attack Goku and Vegeta to weaken them. Did he get that right? And he did. This foe is capable of stealing away his opponent's energy while fighting. He doesn't know much about how these two go about their battles, but they challenge Moro without knowing all the facts. Taking us full circle back to the fight. Vegeta, he can't turn Super Saiyan. It's like Goku thought. He's been absorbing their energy too. slamming him into the dirt. Moro laughs that they were already aware that his magic robs a planet's life energy, weren't they? Naturally, that included a healthy portion of his energy as well. Just as Vegeta was saying, he was hiding his true intent.
Stop, you!
Manhandled, Goku curses that he's totally drained. Moro snarls out that the longer they battle, the more feeble the two of them grow, while getting cut off.
Take this!
Gulping down Vegeta's energy almost reminiscent of Android 19 and Dr. Gero. He finishes his previous statement. The longer they battle, the more feeble the two of them grow, while he himself grows even stronger. Meanwhile, on Beerus' planet, the feline letting out a long yawn. He sits on a stump fishing as he groans out that he's so bored. Whis, standing to his left, notices something in his staff that gets the destroyer's attention. He's informed that planet Namek is exhibiting a sharp decline in energy levels, so he decided to take a peek, leading Beerus to question if that planet's about to die. How exciting! He barely has to lift a finger here in Universe 7 since some planet buster will come along and do his job for him every so often. Because he's super busy, clearly. Catching a snack from the lake. Whis queries if he didn't just say he was bored. Exactly, so he's busy killing time. Speaking of which, he calls over to the Oracle Fish who's trying to lure in a catch of his own. He asks if this is his catch of the day. But he frowns, this is a fishing contest. You can't just use your hands. That's a violation of the rules, so he loses. Brushing this off, he's sick of fishing anyway. His attendant questions if he's content to let the aforementioned matter play out. Who again yawns, sure. That planet's got no food since the people there only drink water, so he's not interested. Although the angel seems to disapprove of the destroyer's will, he merely utters, very well. Just getting smacked around at this point. Goku feels bad for the Namekians, but they gotta get back to Beerus and the Galactic Patrol. But when nothing happens, Vegeta asks what is it? And he can't use teleportation. He doesn't have enough ki. This most recent blast does some real damage. It obliterated one of the few Namekian villages. Heroes aren't faring much better. Goku pulls himself up and checks to see if Vegeta's still with them. And his grunts and curses tell us, kinda. Moro takes the moment to hover over the pair. At last, their resistance ends. This was surprising. Beings such as themselves did not exist in his era. The only one who stood in his way was the great Lord of Lords who stole his abilities. However, he has to mention that the two of them were never a threat to him. In fact, he welcomes their presence. Why? Because they will allow him to grow even more powerful. Now featuring a more athletic appearance. This is incredible. The energy from a mere pair of beans could restore his flesh to this extent. Cranberry comes cowering back, congratulating him on a great job. He was sure he could beat him all along. Being met with a silent glare. Panic sets in and he tries to explain that he wasn't trying to run away before. He just thought he'd take that chance to collect the Dragon Balls. But surely he realizes he can't deceive him. And yeah, with that, Cranberry just admits defeat. However, speaking of the balls, how would he go about collecting them? And about that, he can pinpoint their villages with this here scouter. Each village is in charge of one ball, so once they found the villages, the rest is easy. Seeming to think deeply for a moment, Moro comments that the nearby Namekians have begun to scatter. Which, the henchman forgot that he doesn't need a scouter. The villain senses a number of locations where they gather. Would those be the villages Cranberry speaks of? And probably, yeah. The duo head back to the ship, resolved to begin with the closest location. Little dog in tow, he whimpers whatever Moro says. Taking off, he mentions, by the way, are those two good and dead? Who claims those drained of their energy will perish on their own in short order. Their lives no longer concern him, so they may proceed. Appearing confident enough in the Fiend. Fortunately for our heroes, Mori comes back to the battlefield. He explains that they're still breathing, pleading with Eska to quickly do it now. Like another young Namekian long ago, could he also? On Earth. Bulma screeches, a week? I mean, really? It's been a whole week since Vegeta and Goku up and vanished. With her, Mr. Satan and... Aw. She turns around to ask him a question. The jerks who kidnapped the boys had this mark on their uniforms, right? And they sure did. Which settles it. The Galactic Patrol is behind this. Although that doesn't tell Hercule where they're headed. Bulma explains they're going to her big sister's place. She's got a communicator that'll get him in touch with Jocko. For more on this, check out Jocko the Galactic Patrolman. At the GPHQ. A couple of patrol members greet Miras on his return. Back from another day of hard work? Though he cuts right to the chase and claims he was informed that Majin Buu has awakened. Is that true? And yeah, he woke up not too long ago. If that's the case, where is he now? Alas, he's in the mess hall. Another agent calls over to Miras that he needs him to come this way. Majin Buu is ravaging their food supplies. Miras assures he'll be right there. He tells Ariko to keep the ship ready to depart for planet Namek at a moment's notice. As for the other two patrolmen, Jocko informs they've got the Macarini gang locked up in the ship. He needs them to escort them over to the Galactic Prison. At his presence, they were actually wondering where Jocko was. Hanging out with Miras, was he? Anyway, they got a message for him earlier. But a call for him? From Mommy, maybe? He hopes she got the birthday card he sent. No, not his, Mommy. Caller ID showed that it came from a woman on Earth named Tights. A name that seems to bewilder him. Returning her call, Bulma screams that he made them join the Galactic Patrol, who meekly replies that he guesses so. But why would he go and do a thing like that? In all fairness, it was the Galactic King's decision, and nobody can defy him. Bulma then wants to know if they're safe at least. And they're not totally sure. They used instant teleportation like poof, and they couldn't stop him. They should make a galactic law against moves like that. It's a real threat to law and order. Her temperament leaning back towards anger again, she growls that if anything happens to her Vegeta, she's going to make him pay. Jocko whimpers to know why she's treating him like the bad guy. When Hercule has to know, can she ask if Boo's doing okay? And overhearing it, Majin Buu is fine. Just woke up from a nap actually. Nearly bringing the champ to tears, he's so glad to hear it. Staying on point, Bulma tells Jaco that she wants him to send a ship her way. She's going over there too. But what? She explains that if the universe is really doomed this time, then she wants to see this Moro jerk with her own eyes before they all die. When abruptly,
Sorry, it looks like I ran out of minutes. We're breaking up.
shh! He must have made too many calls this month. Anyway, bye. Before Bulma can get him to hang on, he cuts the line. Ran out of minutes. Yeah, right. Jaco furrows that he swears that woman thinks the Galactic Patrol is running a taxi service. In inconvenient timing, Eriko enters the room, casually inquiring what's going on with him. He tells how the Kuseiya squad was patrolling near Namek, the squad mentioned on the ship earlier. They got a message from him. They've got life readings on Son Goku and Vegeta. Who gleefully smiles. Oh yeah? Those two didn't croak? This means things could be worse, right? Leading Jaco to think he might need to call Bulma back. Namek. Just as speculated, Eska can be seen healing the Saiyans, helping bring Goku back to consciousness. He thanks him, but the young one got his energy drained too, so he warns the little guy not to overdo it. And actually, he's just fine. He might not be as good as Dende, but he's got healing powers too. They wanted to help them recover a little as quickly as possible, even if they can't get him to their full strength. But how does he know about Dende? Has he just become a legend passed down by their elders? He continues that the two of them saved their lives, so this is the least they can do. As Vegeta jolts up, Eska cautions him not to try to get up just yet. Coming to his senses, he recognizes him as the child he saved, who finally gets the opportunity to thank him for that. Goku coyly remarks, "See, Vegeta? Looks like we're still alive." After shortly hesitating, he wants to know how long he's been out. Surprisingly, at this point he has slumbered for 3 full days. But 3 days? Reminder, the Namekian calendar runs about 2.8 times faster than Earth's. And what of Moro? What is that fiend up to? Mori instantly becomes sorrowful at the question. The other Namekian informs that he's already attacked 3 villages. He's probably headed for Elder Suburi's village as they speak. So he means to say he's obtained 3 of the Dragon Balls. As it becomes painfully clear to the prince that he's far from healed, the elder tells how 3 of the villages failed to protect their Dragon Balls. He slaughtered them all. When they feel an intense force from the outside, the other Namekian asks what that was, and Goku believing it might have been Moro. But Mori's already fully confident what the source is. Old Namekian, likely Suburi, hisses, "How dare this monster do this?" Moro chuckles that his village is wreathed in flames. There is no escape, so they have no choice but to bring him their Dragon Ball. Another shouts like they just handed over to the likes of him. Just flicking them into the fire like gnats. The elder looks on in horror as Moro utters that they are all fated to die in due time. It's futile to resist. The old man can only cower out that this creature is the devil. Referring to their previous conversation, Goku expresses his concern that Moro has started killing the Namekians. He wishes they could help, but he still can't use his instant teleportation. Mori states there is hope. They have not been idle these 3 days. But they've come up with a sort of plan? He tells how the Namekians have assimilation as a last resort. Something Goku remembers as a thing Piccolo and Kami did. The elder furthers that the strongest warriors from every village have been combining, and they're headed to Suburi. several dozen Namekians assimilate. The resulting warrior can defeat any evil that may threaten them. This is how their tribe has protected itself throughout the ages. As the Elder senses the arrival of this merged fighter, he hisses to Moro that he may have had his way, but that ends now. This gets the goat curious. How does he mean? Suburi elaborates that the savior of all Namekians will be upon them shortly. It's the monster's fate to perish at his hands. Mori cheers him on. Go! Savior of our dear planet! Embody the pride of every Namekian! Come on! Piercing the fused warrior through the chest without even looking. Moro cackles if this was their savior by chance.
Apologies. He was dead before I could even see his face.
With not only the defeat of what was likely the second most powerful Namekian to ever exist, but pretty much every remaining Namekian warrior. What can be done now with our heroes inadvertently making Moro far more powerful than he was upon his escape? Will the Galactic Patrol be able to reach New Namek in time? Even if so, what help could they possibly be?